when SpaceX started, I think the first 3 rocket launches weren't successful.
Yeah.
And the fourth one was.
Elon Musk is known as one of the most brilliant and controversial figures of our time, an unstoppable force in technology, space, and business. But behind the headlines and billion-dollar ventures, there is another story, one that only those closest to him truly understand. That car is incredible. The reviews, as you guys know, are as good as it gets. It's probably the best reviewed car. His brother, Kimbal Musk, has always stood by his side, witnessing both his triumphs and struggles. But recently, something changed. Join us as we talk about why Kimbal Musk, at 52, finally broke into tears and revealed the truth about Elon Musk, the Musk brothers. But before we reveal to you why, at 52 years old, Kimbal Musk finally broke into tears and what was revealed about Elon Musk, let's start the story from the very beginning. Although less well known than his older brother Elon, Kimbal Musk has lived an extraordinary life, from a childhood filled with both freedom and hardship to standing alongside his brother through incredible ventures. Kimbal's journey is a fascinating one. But what was it really like growing up as the younger brother of one of the most controversial and brilliant minds of our time? Kimbal Musk was born in 1972 in Pretoria, South Africa, just 1 year after his older brother Elon. The Musk family, including their younger sister, Tosca, grew up in an environment that was both privileged and chaotic. Their mother, May Musk, was a model and dietitian originally from Canada, while their father, Elon Musk, was a wealthy engineer and businessman. The Musk children had an unusual upbringing. Their parents were often busy with their own pursuits, and as a result, the siblings had a great deal of freedom. This lack of strict oversight meant that Kimbal, Elon, and their cousins spent much of their time creating businesses, getting into trouble, and finding ways to make money. It was a childhood filled with adventure but also one that lacked the warmth and protection most children take for granted. Despite their wealthy background, life was not always easy. According to Kimbal, their home was not a safe or nurturing place. In interviews, he has spoken about the challenges of growing up in a house where emotions were not always expressed in a healthy way. He also described their father as a difficult man. But the real struggles for Elon began outside their home. School was a brutal experience for him. Elon was a quiet, intellectual child, always lost in books or deep thoughts. This made him a target for bullying. In one particularly horrifying incident, he was beaten so badly by classmates that he had to be hospitalized. Kimbal, despite being close to Elon, could do nothing to stop it. Can you imagine watching someone you love suffer and feeling completely powerless to help? That was Kimbal's reality. Even with these hardships, the Musk siblings remained ambitious. From a young age, they understood the value of money and were constantly coming up with ways to make it. While Elon was always the visionary, Kimbal had a deep passion for business and finance. After finishing high school, he followed his brother to Canada, where he enrolled at Queen's University in Kingston, Ontario. He studied business and even took a job at Scotiabank, where he gained experience in finance. At first, Kimbal thought he was destined for a career in banking, but fate had other plans. Around this time, Elon was starting to make waves in the tech industry. The two brothers always had a special bond, and it wasn't long before they decided to go into business together. The first joint project between Kimbal and Elon Musk was an ambitious venture that would set the foundation for their futures. Before the world knew Elon as the visionary behind Tesla and SpaceX or Kimbal as a leading figure in sustainable food, the two brothers were just young men trying to build something great. Let's rewind to the mid-1990s when the internet was still in its early days and online business directories were barely a concept. Elon had just completed a summer internship in 1994 where he observed a simple but powerful idea: businesses were being encouraged to list themselves online alongside their traditional Yellow Pages listings. To most people, it seemed insignificant, but to Elon, it was an opportunity. That spark of an idea quickly turned into action. By late 1995, Elon, Kimbal, and their business partner Greg Curry founded Global Link Information Network Incorporated in Palo Alto, California. They had very little money, just a small sum from early angel investors, a personal contribution from Curry, and some additional funds from their father, Elon Musk. However, the exact amount of Errol's contribution has been debated for years, with Elon himself later refuting claims that his father played a major financial role. With whatever funds they could scrape together, they started developing an online business directory system that would help businesses establish their presence on the internet. The concept was relatively simple, a searchable online database that would connect customers with local businesses, along with directions to help them navigate. This was a time when even finding a location required pulling out a paper map, so the idea of integrating digital mapping with business listings was groundbreaking. But like any startup, the journey was far from easy. The company soon rebranded as Zip2, a name that reflected the idea of zipping through information and getting quick access to business locations. Elon was appointed Chief Technology Officer, while a new CEO, Rich Sain, was brought in to run the business side of things. The first few years were brutal. The Musk brothers barely had enough money to survive, they shared a tiny apartment, sleeping on a couch and an old mattress, and they couldn't even afford proper furniture. Instead of buying food, they lived on cheap meals, often surviving on a diet of hot dogs and oranges. Have you ever been so passionate about something that you were willing to sacrifice your comfort for it? That's exactly what Kimbal and Elon did. Days were long, and nights were even longer. They worked relentlessly, writing code, pitching their idea to businesses, and constantly improving their product. At one point, they had no choice but to shower at a local YMCA because they were spending every penny on keeping their company alive. Despite their struggles, they believed in their vision, and soon their persistence began to pay off. In 1996, Zip2 received a game-changing investment of $3 million from More Davidow Ventures. This funding not only gave them breathing room but also changed the direction of the company. Instead of selling directly to small businesses, Zip2 shifted its focus to partnering with major newspapers, providing them with software that helped digitize their directories. Before long, Zip2 was working with big names like the New York Times, Knight Ridder, and Hearst Corporation. These partnerships were crucial, as they allowed newspapers to offer online city guides that included business listings, maps, and even interactive features. Suddenly, the company was no longer just a struggling startup, it was becoming a serious player in the tech industry. While Zip2 was growing, Kimbal and Elon took a road trip from California to Philadelphia. It was supposed to be a simple journey, but things didn't go as planned. Somewhere along the way, their car broke down in the middle of nowhere. With no immediate help available, they set up a tent by the roadside and waited for the engine to cool down. Instead of panicking, the brothers took the opportunity to talk about the future. They reflected on how far they had come and how much more they wanted to achieve. That night, under the stars, they made a silent promise: they wouldn't stop until they built something truly great. As Zip2 continued to grow, a major opportunity arose in 1998, a potential merger with CitySearch, one of their biggest competitors. At first, Elon was open to the idea, but he later convinced the board to reject the merger. The reason? The two companies had significant differences in their vision and technology. It was a risky move, but ultimately, it didn't matter. Just a year later, in 1999, Compaq Computer acquired Zip2 for a staggering $35 million. Elon walked away with $22 million, while Kimbal received $15 million. The next big ventures. For most people, selling a company for millions would be the perfect excuse to retire and live a comfortable life, but not for the Musks. Brothers. They had worked tirelessly to build the company from nothing, enduring long nights, financial struggles, and relentless pressure. Now they were finally free to decide what came next. But what does a person do when they've already achieved what most people only dream of? Do they slow down and enjoy their wealth, or do they push forward, looking for the next big thing? For Elon, the answer was obvious. He was already dreaming of revolutionizing finance, space, and transportation. Kimbal, on the other hand, was about to take a very different path, one that would lead him to an unexpected passion. Yet despite their separate careers, one thing remained constant: they always supported each other. While Kimbal was figuring out his next move, Elon had no time to waste. He immediately invested $12 million of his Zip2 earnings into a new financial services company called X.com. His idea was bold: He wanted to create an online banking system that would allow people to send and receive money over the internet. Kimbal believed in his brother's vision and became one of the early investors in X.com, even though he wasn't directly involved in running the company. At first, X.com struggled to gain users. Online banking was still a new concept, and people weren't sure if they could trust it. But then something changed. X.com introduced an email-based payment system that was fast, easy, and convenient. Soon after, the company merged with a competitor called Confinity, which had its own online payment service, PayPal. The company took off. By 2002, eBay bought PayPal for $1.5 billion, making Elon even richer and proving once again that he had a talent for seeing the future. Kimbal was proud of his brother's success, but his own ambitions were leading him down a different road, one that had nothing to do with technology. While Elon stayed in California, Kimbal moved to New York and did something unexpected. He enrolled in the French Culinary Institute. After years of working in the tech world, he wanted to follow his passion for food. For Kimbal, food wasn't just about eating, it was about community, health, and sustainability. He saw a growing problem in the way people ate, especially in America. Processed food was everywhere, obesity was on the rise, and many communities lacked access to fresh, healthy meals. Determined to make a difference, he opened his first restaurant, The Kitchen, in 2004 in Boulder, Colorado, with his partners Jen Lean and Hugo Matheson. The idea was simple: serve fresh, local food in a warm and welcoming environment. But The Kitchen was more than just a restaurant, it was a movement. It was about reconnecting people to real food, supporting local farmers, and giving back. Each kitchen location donated a percentage of its sales to help plant school gardens in local communities. Kimbal didn't just want to cook, he wanted to change the way people thought about food. As The Kitchen grew, so did Kimbal's ambitions. He didn't want to stop at just one restaurant. Soon, he opened locations in Denver and Chicago, proving that people were hungry for better food choices. But running restaurants wasn't enough. Kimbal wanted to bring healthy food directly to kids. In 2011, after years of supporting the Grow Foundation, he co-founded Big Green, a non-profit organization dedicated to building learning gardens in schools across America. These were classrooms where kids could learn about food, nutrition, and the environment. Imagine being a child and growing your own vegetables at school. Imagine learning math and science by studying how plants grow. That was Kimbal's vision, and it worked. By 2012, Big Green had built 26 gardens in Colorado, 16 in Chicago, and 12 in other cities. Then, in 2015, they hit a huge milestone: 260 learning gardens across the U.S. Even Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel saw the potential and donated $1 million to help install 80 gardens in the city's schools. In 2016, Kimbal took his food mission even further by co-founding Square Roots, an urban farming company that grows organic food in shipping containers. The idea was revolutionary. Instead of relying on large farms in rural areas, Square Roots used advanced technology to grow fresh, local produce in cities where it was needed most. The company even partnered with Gordon Food Services to expand beyond New York City. By 2019, Big Green had reached 600 schools, impacting over 300,000 students, and Kimbal had been recognized as Global Social Entrepreneur of the Year by the World Economic Forum. Not bad for a former tech entrepreneur, right? Despite their different paths, Elon and Kimbal always supported each other. Kimbal invested in Elon's early companies, believing in his brother's vision even when others doubted him. Elon, in turn, admired Kimbal's commitment to changing the food system and even supported his work. They had taken very different roads, but their bond remained strong, an unbreakable bond with Elon. Of course, each of them has their own family. Over the years, both Elon and Kimbal Musk have built their own personal lives, raising children and experiencing the highs and lows that come with love and relationships. Kimbal Musk's first marriage was with Jen Lewin, an interactive artist and engineer known for creating large-scale life installations in public spaces. The two met in the early 2000s at a time when Kimbal was transitioning from tech entrepreneur to restaurateur. Together, they co-founded The Kitchen, a restaurant that was about more than just food. Their marriage lasted nearly a decade, during which they had 2 children, but as life often unfolds, their paths eventually led them in different directions, and they divorced in 2010. An artist with a passion for engineering and interactive installation, Jen went on to remarry, starting a new life with William Magnuson, while Kimbal continued to build his own legacy. Despite the end of their marriage, Kimbal and Jen remained connected through their shared passion for food, sustainability, and creativity. The kitchen continued to grow, and Kimbal's mission to transform the way people eat never wavered. Then, in April 2018, Kimbal found love again and married Christiana Wei, an environmental activist and the daughter of former billionaire Sam Wei. Their shared values, especially their commitment to sustainability, brought them together, and Kimbal embraced this new chapter in his life. Kimbal also has a daughter from another relationship, though he keeps details about this part of his life private. One thing, however, is clear: family is important to him. While Kimbal's personal life evolved, one thing remained the same: his place in Elon Musk's inner circle. Despite their different careers, Kimbal and Elon have always supported each other. But being close to Elon isn't always easy. Elon Musk is a genius, but he's also a man known for being relentless, impatient, and sometimes difficult. In an interview with Time magazine, Kimbal openly admitted he is a savant when it comes to business, but his gift is not empathy. This single sentence reveals a lot. Kimbal knows who Elon is behind closed doors, the man the world admires, criticizes, and fears. He has seen his brother at his most brilliant and his most controversial moments. But here's the thing: despite Elon's intensity, unpredictability, and larger-than-life personality, Kimbal has never turned his back on him. He understands Elon in a way few people do. Kimbal Musk's role in Tesla and SpaceX. From the outside, Elon seems like a lone genius, someone who operates at a speed too fast for most people to keep up with. His ideas, his risks, and his relentless drive have made him one of the most controversial and successful figures in modern history. But behind the scenes, there has always been one person who understood why he pushes so hard, one person who has always believed in his vision, even when the world called him crazy. And that person is Kimbal Musk. Kimbal might not be the face of Tesla or SpaceX, but his connection to these companies runs deep. Many people don't realize that Kimbal Musk has been a director at Tesla for nearly 2 decades. His name may not appear in the headlines as often as Elon's, but he has been there from the beginning, helping steer the company through some of its most critical moments. When Tesla was struggling, Kimbal stood by his brother. He wasn't just an investor, he was a board member, a supporter, and a believer in what Tesla could become. Imagine watching your brother pour everything he has into a company, risking billions of dollars, facing intense criticism, and nearly going bankrupt multiple times. Would you still believe in him? Would you still stand by him, knowing that the entire world thought he was doomed to fail? Kimbal did. He never wavered in his support for Tesla, even in its darkest days. And then there's SpaceX. Kimbal was a director at SpaceX, the private space company Elon founded in 2002. At the time, people laughed at the idea of private companies launching rockets. It seemed impossible. NASA was the only serious player in space exploration. But Elon saw something no one else did, and Kimbal saw it too. For 20 years, Kimbal was part of the SpaceX journey, witnessing historic rocket launches, the first reusable rocket landings, and the incredible moment when SpaceX sent astronauts to the International Space Station. He didn't just watch from the sidelines, he was deeply involved in discussions about the company's future, helping make key decisions as a board member. While the rest of the world sees Elon as a brilliant but ruthless entrepreneur, Kimbal sees something else. He sees the boy who was once bullied for being different, the brother who was beaten so badly he had to be hospitalized, the young man who never stopped dreaming no matter how many times people told him he was wrong. That's why Kimbal has always believed in Elon even when others didn't, and when Tesla finally started succeeding, when it became the most valuable car company in the world, when millions of people started driving electric cars, when SpaceX landed reusable rockets, Kimbal must have felt a deep sense of pride. Tesla stock sale recently made headlines when Kimbal Musk sold 75,000 Tesla shares, cashing in $28 million in a single day. The move, which reduced his stake in the company by nearly 5%, left many wondering, was this just a routine financial decision, or did it signal something deeper? As a longtime Tesla board member, Kimbal has always been closely tied to the company's journey. Over the years, he has accumulated a significant number of shares, making him not just an investor but an insider with a deep understanding of Tesla's future. At Monday's closing price, Kimbal still held 1.46 million shares valued at approximately $514 million. But why sell now? Insider stock sales often raise speculation. Some believe it could indicate concerns about future stock performance, while others argue it's simply a smart financial decision, funding new projects or even preparing for tax obligations. This isn't the first time Kimbal has sold shares. Over the years, he has occasionally cashed out portions of his holdings, yet he has remained a strong supporter of Tesla's mission. His role in the company has never been about day-to-day operations but rather about long-term vision and governance. Still, every major stock sale raises questions: was this just a routine financial move, or does Kimbal see something others don't? Kimbal Musk's emotional confession. While everyone was busy speculating about the reasons behind Kimbal Musk's recent Tesla stock sale, Elon Musk made headlines for a completely different reason: his 13th child. The news spread like wildfire, igniting a heated debate across the internet about his ever-growing family and personal life. But while the world was focused on Elon's latest scandal, Kimbal Musk had his own reaction, one that he didn't share publicly but rather in private conversations with close friends. According to sources, Kimbal has always portrayed Elon as unbreakable, a man who thrives under pressure and never lets anything shake him. But recently, something changed. Kimbal Musk, at 52, finally broke into tears and revealed the truth about Elon Musk. "I can't stand him like this," Kimbal reportedly said, visibly emotional. According to sources, he spoke about how he had never seen Elon withdraw into himself, not even around him. He admitted that something was different, that the constant media scrutiny was finally getting to his brother. "I've never known him to shut down, not even in front of me," Kimbal reportedly confided. "You can see that all the headlines have taken a toll on him. I love him, and I just wish people could see that behind everything is someone vulnerable." If these reports are true, it would mean that even the seemingly unstoppable Elon Musk is not immune to the weight of public opinion. And for Kimbal, it's a heartbreaking realization, one he never thought he'd have to face. Do you think even the most powerful and successful people feel the weight of public scrutiny? Let us know in the comments and subscribe to our channel for more.